And joining us now with much more, nationally syndicated radio talk show host with the Salem Radio Network, our friend, syndicated host Larry Elder is with us. You know, one of the things that I was thinking about as I'm watching this tonight is because he didn't respect separation of powers, co-equals branches of government, you're an attorney, Larry, and he did everything by executive fiat and, rule of, the pen there. I'm thinking Donald Trump in 3 hours will wipe out 75% of Obama's agenda. They're already now working on repealing and replacing Obamacare. That's 85. The only thing that I see remaining is the debt, the deficit, the judges that he's appointed, and, of course, internationally, the damage that he's created. What is his legacy? What can he point to?
His legacy, Sean, is Donald J. Trump. That's what his legacy is.
Wow.
And the fact that the majority of the American people feel that we're on the wrong track economically, on the wrong track in terms of foreign policy. And to follow up on what Bo just now said, he's echoing the thoughts by people like Tavis Smiley and Cornel West, who said that under Obama, the black economy has suffered. Black net worth is down, black home ownership down, black home equity down. The so-called wealth gap between the average black family and the average white family hasn't been this wide in 25 years. Sean, you and I have talked about the very small labor force participation rate. For black men, it has never been this low since they've been tracking the number because of Obama's policies, taxing, spending, regulating, putting pressure on the backs of the American people, the backs of job creators. It does not work.
I grew up in a town called Franklin Square. It's in Long Island in New York.
Right.
And if I ever became president, I know people would laugh at that. I'm just saying, if I was the president, and
stranger things have happened, Sean.
Last year, all right, it's not that funny, Larry, okay? But if I was a president and I read in my hometown where I grew up, the town I come from, when it's all said and done, that's where I'm going to be. I think I would have gone back and paid a lot of attention if 4,000 people in my town were killed in an 8-year period. I think I would have been there often to try and solve the problem. Why was he missing in action in Chicago?
That's a good question. And you look at Chicago and all that left-wing brain power. You've got Bill Ayers there. You've got Rahm Emanuel there. You've got Jesse Jackson there. You got Farrakhan. You got Father Flagler. And of course, Obama has adopted Chicago as his adopted hometown. That ought to be a shining city on a hill. Instead, its finances are in the toilet. We talked about the violence. They've done about 750 homicides in 2016. That's substantially higher than 2015. 70%, by the way, of these homicides, Sean, are unsolved. And in a city that's a third white, a third black, and a third Hispanic, 70% of the homicides are black on black. Where is Obama? What's his policy? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. By the way, are you following this hysteria on some of the other networks about the Russian spies and what might have been told Donald Trump when he met with some of our national intelligence folks and what Barack Obama might have heard, and there might have been blackmailable material? Donald Trump's been tweeting tonight that, of course, it is fake news. And he pointed out that Michael Cohen, a special counsel to Donald Trump at the Trump Organization, was never in Prague, and that a lot of what has been reported tonight on other news networks has not been verified. But the hysteria to run with a story before any verification, what do you make of that?
Well, I think Donald Trump is bothered by the notion that but for Vladimir Putin, he would not have won the presidency, and that's what's bothering him. But there is a conflict. We have a bunch of people who were yelling and screaming that George W. Bush was lying when he relied on all 16 of our intelligence agencies, the very same people who are yelling at Donald Trump for saying that I don't believe them. So I'm not quite sure whom to believe. But I do want to say this real fast, Sean. Your becoming president is far more plausible than Donald Trump becoming president a year ago. So don't laugh. A lot of very smart people, Sean, would love to see you at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and I'm one of them.
Oh, geez, thanks, Larry. If I'm going there, I'm dragging you with me, you and Bo and everybody else. I'm not going there.
I want to be the press secretary. That's the job I want.
That would be the most entertaining job for you in your life. I guess the thing is that's so amazing to me is we have a president right now that gave a speech tonight saying his farewell. And everyone's so worked up in the news media about, well, the Russians may have tried. I assume the Russians are hacking. They've hacked the White House, the State Department, Department of Defense, the Postal Service, the IRS, Office of Personnel Management. China did in 2014, and we haven't done anything. WikiLeaks has been on the scene for 10 years. And we have a president that literally tried to unseat an ally of ours using taxpayer money and his own political operatives in Israel. What do you make of that hypocrisy?
Well, they also hacked John Brennan, the CIA director's personal email. Look, even Adam Schiff, the Democrat from California, said that Barack Obama should have done a lot more to stop cyber attacks. What Barack Obama said is he told Putin to knock it off, and Putin suddenly knocked it off, except he didn't knock it off. The fact of the matter is they've not taken cybersecurity seriously enough, and that's why this country has been exposed the way it's been exposed.
We need to fix it, Larry. I've been saying it for a long time. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. All right, coming up.
Sean Hannity in 2020.
No, Trump in 2020.